This is the Jamina Nutrition Planner tool. I'm going to give you guys a quick walkthrough on how it works. I have it pulled up here in front of me, and as you can see, there are some steps that kind of guide you through the process. The bright orange are going to show you where you need to go. So you can see step 1 and then step 2. All of the blue fields in this tool are fields that you can edit. So all you need to do for these first few, they have drop downs, but some of the other ones will actually have text that you can put in on some of the other pages, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Down here are those pages that I was talking about. These tabs down here are calculator, meals, charts, and values. You're going to use calculator and meals primarily. So let's go ahead and begin. This tool does actually coincide with the fitness program, the Jamina fitness program. So if you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure that you fill this out accordingly. If you're in the first month or the first chapter, you're going to go ahead and select chapter 1, and that's going to go with the program as you go through. So as you go through the program gets a little bit harder on the exercise side, and then on the meal planner side, it does actually take it up a step every step along the way as well. So we're going to go ahead and put in chapter 1, because that's actually the chapter that I'm on right now. I'm restarting the program myself. I'm going to put my sex in here. My goal is going to be, I'm doing a little bit of a cut right now, so I'm going to slim down. And then my current weight is 162. My height, this is going to be in inches, guys, so make sure you put this in inches. They're easy to convert if you just go to Google. I also do have a converter tool on one of the other pages, which I'll show you here in just a second. And then you're going to put your age. This one should be pretty easy for you. I am 28 years old. Now, this is the fun part. If you just go ahead and click off of here, you can see that it automatically comes up with your daily calories. This is a part of the program, so since I chose slim down, this is going to be just below maintenance. If I actually go to maintain weight, I can see what my maintenance calories are. So it would actually take about 2,100 calories for me to maintain my weight. But since I'm trying to slim down, it's going to take that down a little bit. And I'm going to come over here and move this to 6, and as you can see, it drops quite a bit. So if you're doing the slim down and you are in chapter 6, it does get quite intense. So just keep that in mind. If that gets too intense for you guys, you can always come back to 1, or you can adjust this to maintain weight or something like that. So this is the fun part. You can kind of see, you're going to come over here to this field for meal option 1. There are quite a few meals that are already put into the system. The tool itself is really kind of built for you to put your own food in, but there are some pre-made meals in here to make things easy for you guys. So meal option 1, I like to start out with a breakfast. My personal favorite is good old-fashioned oatmeal, 2-ingredient breakfast. And it's just instant oatmeal with some protein in it. Maybe not necessarily the healthiest option, but it sure beats some of the other breakfast options out there. So you just basically put that in, and you're going to fill out all of your meals, because as you can see, we've got this red arrow over here telling us that we still need to fill out our meals. So let's fill out our meals for the whole day. Let's say for lunch, we're going to do some stir fry, chicken teriyaki. Let's do a dinner, and for dinner I want some steak fajitas. Alright, so I've got a few more boxes left to fill out, and these are going to really kind of be my snacks. Before I fill those out there, I'm going to take a peek up here at my macros. So as you can see, as I build this out, it tells me where I land in my macros. I'm at 21% fat, 41% protein, 38% carbs. So that's actually pretty good. I try to stick with around a 40-40-20. So 40% protein, 40% carbohydrate, and 20% fat. As you can see, we're pretty much right on the mark. And so I kind of want to stick around food groups that are going to be around those same macros. So let's say I want to do a protein bar, my favorite. This is a Quest birthday cake protein bar. And I put that in, and if I come back up here to my macros, you can see my protein went up quite a bit, and my carbs went down quite a bit. So I do have a little bit of leeway for some carbs if I want to throw some carbs in. So let's find something with a little bit of carbs. So for another snack, let's do some raspberries and cashews. That's mostly going to be carbs and fats right there. So we got some fats, you can see, and the carbs went up slightly. We do still have some leeway for some carbs. So let's come down here, and actually I'm going to show you something kind of cool, guys. I'm going to pick something that's not necessarily a snack. You can actually pick a meal. Let's do spaghetti with meat sauce. That's going to be a lot of carbs. But the cool thing is it automatically adjusts for the amount you're eating. So you can see here, it's only 75 grams of spaghetti in total. So you can see there's 14 grams of the noodles, 32 grams of sauce, and then 29 grams of the beef. And let's come back up here to our macros. Our macros are pretty good. We do have a little bit more fat than I typically try to go with, but it's pretty close. So this is a pretty good day, and we can just leave this as day one, or we can say this is Monday, okay, since this is our first day. So all the blue fields, remember, you guys can edit. And then you have your whole day planned out, basically. So what I like to do at this point is I like to print it off. So I just send this to my printer, and I print the sheet off so that I have it in front of me. There's two things that I do with this. I take it to the grocery store with me. This is my grocery list, so I can see exactly how much I need of oatmeal. So if I'm just planning for one day, I can see I need 50 grams of oatmeal. So when I'm shopping for oatmeal, I just look at the package and make sure there's at least 50 grams. But of course, if I'm shopping for, say, a whole week, I'll do my whole week and then print off, all 7 sheets, take them with me, and then I'll just add everything up. But this shows me exactly what ingredients I need for my meals. The other thing that I do with these is I hang them up in my kitchen. So when I'm making the food and preparing it, I can actually have a little bit of a recipe or an ingredient list in front of me, and I know exactly how to do it. If I need the actual recipes themselves, I like to put links in. So let's pick one that I know that I have a recipe on. I think I've got a recipe for, actually I can come over here to meals. This is the next tab. So I've got recipes in here. So there's one for chicken enchilada bowl. So if I were to say, for example, for my lunch, I did the chicken enchilada bowl. Find it. Okay, so let's select that. So I have the recipe right here. So if I want to click on this link, it'll actually take me to the link where I found this recipe. The other thing that I like to do is I like to put the ingredients, maybe that it may be hard to find ingredients or something that I like to buy online. I'll put the link right here in the link section. So these are tools that I like to use frequently, and you can actually do this yourself as well as you build out your meals. So let's go over to the meals tab. These are the meals that are already in there. You can use them, and the cool thing is as you put these in, you can put them in as full recipes. So as you take a recipe online, or maybe it's your grandmother's recipe or something like that, you can actually put the full recipe in here with the full amounts. So you don't actually have to put single serving amounts in there. When you put them into the program and when you select them on the calculator tab, it'll actually automatically convert the amounts to the amount that you need to eat for that meal, and it'll calculate everything to make sure that you're eating exactly as many calories, fats, carbs, and protein as you need to be eating. So let's pretend that we were putting in this enchilada bowl, because this is one that I just got off of a website online. And as you can see, I put the title in, the name, and the blue fields, remember the blue fields are fields you edit, orange ones are fields that you don't edit. So I put the title in here, and then I put the recipe in. I just put the link in. So I can actually click on this link in this program, and it'll take me to that recipe if I need to. Now look over here. As you can see, the grams, calories, the protein, net carbs, and fats, that's a lot more than you would ever eat in one meal. I'm not going to eat a 407 gram meal, especially if I'm slimming down. So it looks really big over here. But as soon as I select it over here, you can see the grams actually change, or the amount. So it actually moves it over to 350 and converts it into what I'm needing to do for my goal. So it's really actually only 350 grams total instead of the 407. And so the 407 would be the full amount. for the whole recipe. So you don't edit these. These are actually automatic. So I'm going to actually change something. So instead of 140 grams of protein, let's say it's 70, but I want you to pay attention over here to what it does to the grams. So I'm going to put 70 in and just hit enter. And all of a sudden, it does automatically change. It'll change there, okay? It will also change over here because it's going to make everything else even to make sure that it matches the calorie amount. So I'm just going to undo that just so you guys see how it works. But yeah, as you put the recipes in, you're going to put the full recipe in. So if it calls for 140 grams of chicken, you put 140 grams of chicken in here. Keep in mind, everything in this program is in grams. Not all recipes are going to be in grams. So you may need to do some converting when you're doing your recipes. This just keeps everything consistent, makes things easier for you when you go to the grocery store. But more importantly, everything is consistent across the board, because a cup of one ingredient may not necessarily be the equivalent of a cup of another ingredient, depending on the density of it. But grams is gonna maintain that consistency for you to make sure you're getting the correct amount of macronutrients and calories in those ingredients. So make sure you do convert to grams. Now let's move over to the charts section. This is just going to show you your macronutrient chart, which is actually on the other page as well. It just gives it to you a little bit bigger. So you may come over here if you want to be able to read it a little bit better, or maybe you just want to print off this specific chart and not that whole other page. You can do so from here. And then values. You're really not going to edit anything on this page. This is just where a lot of the information is getting pulled from for the rest of the tool. A lot of the data for the weight, and then how the calories are measured and that sort of thing. But what this does have is it has a metric conversion calculator in here. So if you do need to convert to metric units, you can here, or from metric units rather. So if you're outside of the United States, you can put your weight in kilograms and you can put your height in centimeters, and it'll automatically pump out the weight and height in pounds and inches for the other page. So you don't have to go over to Google, although that's pretty easy to just put a Google search in on converting metric. And that's the whole tool, guys. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out and send a message to me. I'd be happy to help. Good luck, and I hope this helps you reach your goals.